Hello, everyone. We're doing this U.S. citizenship interview practice to give you the opportunity to prepare for your real interview. During this interview, we'll play the role of the immigration officer, and you'll respond with your own answers, just as you would in an actual interview. Try to answer as smoothly and confidently as possible, as if you were really being interviewed. The questions in this practice are very common and frequently appear in the actual citizenship interviews. So the more you practice, the more confident you'll feel going into the real thing. This practice will be incredibly helpful for your upcoming interview. So please take your time and feel free to pause if you need extra time to think about your answer. Let's get started. Good morning. I'm Officer J, and I'll be conducting your interview today. How are you doing? That's good to hear. Just to make sure everything is in order, can you provide your full name and date of birth? Also, may I please see your interview appointment letter? Thank you. Now, let's head to the interview room. Please follow me. Feel free to place all your belongings on the table and just remain standing for a moment. I'll need to swear you in before we proceed. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. Do you swear that the information you're about to provide today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, you can go ahead and take a seat now. Can I see your green card, your passport, and your state-issued ID? How have you been so far? How did you get here today? Great. Was the traffic okay on your way here? All right. Is there anyone here with you today? Can you tell me why you want to become a U.S. citizen? Okay. Before we dive into the test, I'll need to take your fingerprints. Let's get that done quickly. Please place your right index finger on the scanner in front of you. Perfect. Now, can you switch to your left index finger? Great. Your fingerprints came out nicely. We're going to use your existing photo from the system, so we won't need to take a new one today. Now let's move on to the Civics test. Are you ready to get started? What are two rights in the Declaration of Independence? There are 4 amendments in the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. What happened at the Constitutional Convention? Why does the flag have 13 stripes? What is the highest court in the United States? What is one reason colonists came to America? Great job. Since you got 6 out of the questions correct, you've successfully passed the civics test. Now we're going to move on to the next section, which will involve both a reading and a writing test. For the reading portion of the test, I'll need you to read a sentence displayed on the tablet in front of you. Take all the time you need, and when you feel ready, go ahead and read the sentence out loud. Now let's move on to the writing test. For this part, I will read a sentence to you, and I'd like you to write it down on the tablet in front of you using the stylus. Please go ahead and pick up the stylus that's placed to your left. Freedom of speech is one right. I'll quickly review your work now. Everything looks accurate. Congratulations. The next part of the process is very important. I'll be going over the information you provided on your application to make sure that everything is correct and that all your details are accurate. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask, all right? Great. Can you tell me how you're eligible to apply for U.S. citizenship? Who helped you obtain your green card? When did you become a permanent resident? How many years have you lived continuously in the United States? All right. What is your full legal name as it appears on your green card? What is your last name? Have you used any other names before? Have you legally changed your name at any time? Do you want to change your name during the naturalization process? What is your phone number? What country do you currently hold citizenship in? Are you a citizen or national of any other country? All right. How tall are you? What is your social security number? What is your current home address? Is that also your mailing address? How long have you lived at the current address? When did you start living at your current address? Where did you live before that? Have you lived anywhere else in the past 5 years? Are you currently working? What kind of work do you do? How long have you been working at your current job? Where did you work before that? All right. What is your current marital status? How many times have you been married? What is your current spouse's full name? And what is your spouse's date of birth? Does your spouse live at the same address as you? When did you get married to your current spouse? What is your spouse's immigration status? Has your spouse been married before? What is your spouse's occupation? Do you have any children? Can you tell me your children's names and dates of birth? Are all of your children your biological children? Do you have any stepchildren? Have you taken any trips outside the US in the last 5 years? When did you leave and return from your last trip? Can you tell me where you went and for what purpose on that trip? Were any of your trips longer than 6 months? Do you pay your taxes on time every year? Do you currently owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes in the United States? Alright, please answer the following questions with either yes or no. Have you ever registered to vote or voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? What does vote mean? Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any communist or totalitarian party anywhere in the world? Since you became a lawful permanent resident, have you called yourself a non-resident alien on a federal, state, or local tax return, or decided not to file a tax return because you considered yourself to be a non-resident? Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in writing or any other way? Have you ever advocated, supported, and promoted any of the following, or been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any group anywhere in the world that advocated any of the following? The overthrow by force or violence or other unconstitutional means of the government of the United States or all forms of law. The unlawful damage, injury, or destruction of property or sabotage. Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in genocide? Do you know what genocide is? Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with, or have you ever provided money, a thing of value, services or labor, or any other assistance or support to a group that used a weapon or explosive with intent to harm another person or cause damage to property. Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in injuring or trying to injure any person intentionally and severely? Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in not letting someone practice their religion? Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, or participated in any military or police unit? Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, or participated in any armed group? For example, paramilitary unit, self-defense unit, vigilante unit, rebel group, or guerrilla group? Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in torture? Have you ever worked, volunteered, or otherwise served in a place where people were detained? For example, a prison, jail, prison camp, detention facility, or labor camp? Or have you ever directed or participated in any other activity that involved detaining people? Have you ever received any weapons training, paramilitary training, or other military type training? Can you explain what weapons training means? Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, or organization that used a weapon against any person or threatened to do so? Have you ever used any person under 15 years of age to take part in hostilities, or attempted or worked with others to do so? Have you ever been arrested, cited, detained, or confined by any law enforcement officer, military official, in the US or elsewhere, or immigration official for any reason, or been charged with a crime or offense? Have you ever manufactured, cultivated, produced, distributed, dispensed, sold, or smuggled any controlled substances, illegal drugs, narcotics, or drug paraphernalia in violation of any law or regulation of a U.S. state, the United States, or a foreign country? Have you ever engaged in prostitution, attempted to procure or import prostitutes or persons for the purpose of prostitution, or received any proceeds or money from prostitution? Have you ever committed, agreed to commit, asked someone else to commit, helped commit, or tried to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces? Have you ever been married to more than one person at the same time? Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling? Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States? Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit? Are you a person born as a male who lived in the United States at any time between your 18th and 26th birthdays? Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? Have you ever been removed or deported from the United States? Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? What does oath of allegiance mean? Are you unable to take the oath of allegiance because of a physical or developmental disability or mental impairment? Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces? Have you ever left the United States to avoid being drafted in the U.S. Armed Forces? If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Have you ever failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction? Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States, or to gain immigration benefits while in the United States? Are you sure? Great, we're almost there. Now, I'd like to take a few moments to carefully review the updated form on the tablet. Go through each section thoroughly and check all the information provided. Make sure that everything is correct and up to date. If you notice anything that seems off or needs updating, please let me know. However, if everything looks accurate, please proceed to the last page and sign using the stylus. Next, we have the Oath of Allegiance. This is a very important part of the process, as it's the official pledge you'll need to take at the oath ceremony in order to become a U.S. citizen. Please read it over and sign at the bottom of the page to acknowledge your willingness to swear your allegiance to the United States. Good job. I'm happy to inform you that your application has been approved and you've successfully passed the interview today. Congratulations. Now we'll begin working on scheduling your oath ceremony. You should receive an official notice by mail within the next few weeks with the details about the date and time of the ceremony. It's very important that you don't miss this ceremony, as it's the final step in your naturalization process and a truly meaningful moment in your journey to becoming a U.S. citizen. At this point, do you have any questions or anything you'd like to clarify before we finish today? Awesome. That concludes your interview for today. I'll walk you to the first floor now. Have a great day.